Hello there, and welcome to another playthrough of a Commodore 16 game. And this time we're going to play through the excellent Dorks Dilemma. So this game is a game that was made by Gremlin Graphics, and Gremlin Graphics made some absolutely superb games for the C16. They were always a little bit pricey, so when you went into W.H. Smith's, they were sitting there, $6.95, $9.99, whatever they were, but they were absolutely superb, and they didn't feel like a sort of watered down version of a Commodore 64 game, which a lot of C16 games did. So, what's this game all about? Well, you play this little chap called Dork, and the idea with him is that he did have a spaceship, but it's been smashed into 25 pieces. And then the idea is that in each room there's a piece of his spaceship, and that's the thing in the middle, surrounded by a force field, I assume. And then how he gets the piece is that in each room there are some aliens, and in the top right-hand corner it tells you how many aliens you need to destroy to complete the room. So in this case, there's 6 left. And then what he does is that he drops a bomb, and the bomb explodes, and any aliens caught within the explosion die. The problem being that the explosion could also kill our friend Dork as well, which we don't want to happen. It's quite a clever idea. It's sort of, I've seen these sort of ideas in other games before, so I don't think it's tremendously original. But as a concept, especially as I say for the Commodore 16, it's quite exciting. So I'm just going to kill these last 2 here, and then that's the level complete. So lots of noise, and then you'll notice on the right hand side there is a box that says Jigsaw. So on the I've hit one of the aliens. Bit of an oops. So the idea is you need to collect all 25 pieces, and then you arrange the pieces like a jigsaw, which is all very exciting. So if you press, I think it's either escape or run stop, you get to actually edit the jigsaw itself. So I'm making a bit of a mess of this. So I'm just going to see the little sprites, they do jiggle. So the idea is that if you're very careful with the keys, you can get yourself out of being stuck, which I've just done there. That was a bit close for comfort, that was. The other thing is that the aliens will follow you. So you've got to time when you lay the bomb and where they are, because sometimes they will follow you and they will hide and be out of the bomb's range by the time that you drop it. The other problem is that these sort of steps, if you like, they can be a bit awkward as well, because you can only move up, down, left and right. You can't move diagonally. So I've got to be a little bit careful about getting up and down and around these things. And then the final thing is that, as you saw when I lost all those lives, you can sometimes get trapped because you can have aliens that cover you. And whilst you can sort of wiggle your way out of danger, you've also got to, sometimes you just are completely and utterly trapped, and the only way out then is to commit suicide, which is not very not very user friendly, is it? So it's quite good fun. The game itself has different versions. If you do a search on the web, you can find there's been sequels, and there's been sort of updates for 2019 with extra levels and things. So it's a pretty good game. The only slight criticism that I would have, it's very repetitive and very samey, and it's also quite a slow game. As you notice, I'm having to wait for the alien to come my way so I can do 2 at once. Another piece there, brilliant. But I suppose you could use the warp function if you're playing it on an emulator. You can press your warp, and then at least it can speed up a little bit. That's what I've been doing on a playthrough. It's just been warping through. It's slightly cheating, because as you can see, if you walk through, then this is on warp as well. So imagine how slow it would be on a playthrough. If you're using warp, you've got to be a little bit careful in case that you end up with you can trap yourself, or you can accidentally hit one of the aliens if you're not careful. And it is a bit of a cheat, because you can just basically press warp, as I'm doing here, waiting for the aliens. Then all 4 of them can come now, and you can just do 4 at once. So as I say, it's a bit artificial, but you know, there we are. So we don't. Nobody has enough time, do they really? So it's quite cute, really. So I'm just going to go into the 4th level, and the trick is as soon as these levels spawn, make sure you're not going to get trapped. So as you can see there was every chance I could have got trapped if I wasn't careful. Off you go. I don't know why, but when I was younger, I found this game really difficult. I never got even close to completing it. I don't know whether I just ran out of patience, like what I've just done there with the warp. I don't know if I just sort of pressed the buttons and just got on with it, or whether it gets a bit more difficult the further you go in the maps. I can't really remember, but it's I've never even got close to getting this complete. So I'm just going to get rid of him. Oh, nearly got done. I don't know if it's controllable or not, but sometimes the actual area that the explosion covers changes, and I don't know if it's the length of time that you press the fire button or something else. I'm not really sure, or whether it's a difficulty setting. I'm sure somebody out there will know. Right, so I'm just going to show you what happens if you go back to a room that you've completed. So just quickly dip in. You'll see that it does this, and then the aliens move really, really fast, and they're on warp and just on normal mode. So it's a good idea to try and do these sequentially, left to right, up and down, because if you have to go back into a room, you're pretty much stuck, and you can't go through that bit that says you have this piece. The other thing as well is if you do leave the room, and you haven't completed it, the aliens counter resets to 10. In this case, as you see, it's reset to 10, so that's not brilliant. But yeah, I mean, it's a very colourful, very lively, very interesting game if you've got patience, which I don't really have a lot of. It's a lot of fun. You can complete it, and then I believe that the number of aliens and the speed increases as you redo it and redo it. And with it being a Gremlin Graphics game, the presentation is absolutely superb. But is it a game that's going to have you coming back to it time and time again? I'm not so sure. So that's what I think. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, leave a like, put any comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.